down the content. And here's this video. Yeah. You want YouTube. I'm not a robot. At least I'm pretty sure. All right, cool. Can you guys hear that?
I can't see the video. I see his
spiritual guy.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Welcome to my profile. How would you like to receive a message written by the end of your spiritual guide? Hi,
Can
my
you guys
name
hear
is
that?
Isabel,
Yeah.
and I am a spiritual medium. I communicate with the spiritual
It's the timing is off because I accidentally hit
world
replay.
through a kind of automatic writing called mechanical, which means the spirit takes my hand, pushes my pen on my piece of paper, and write messages. The writing is not mine. It is a spirit writing. This is a unique experience showing proof of the spirit presence in the communication. Very evolved spirit came to talk to me, gave me messages of love, messages of hope, gave me advices in all aspects of our life. If you want to know more, come and visit me in the spiritual encounter space and let's chat.
That's really good.
So it's nice. It's good. Explains who he is, what he does.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I imagine
It'll go
it'd
right
feature
up
like
there.
somewhere like right here.
Yep, that's
Kind of
right.
like how
Well,
Upwork
it'll
works.
probably be above that.
You'll be able
like
to position
scroll
that
up,
video right here. When people land on your page, they can watch it, see it, view it.
scroll up.
Be a good way to introduce yourself. So that's the plan.
No, we'll put it right underneath their name. So they'll have the profile.
Oh, for some reason
their
I can't
name.
hear you now. Hold on. It's because I paused the video and Google is sometimes dumb. See, what can I do? I think I have to leave and then join. So let me. Hold on.
Can you hear me yet?
Yes.
I know you. Nathan, can you hear me? Oh, maybe he'll reconnect. What I'm going to do is, you know how you have your profile picked and your name? I'll probably put the video underneath there and then your services. So it'll be right inside there.
Cool. I'm back. I hear you guys.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is, you know where their profile pic is and their name? I'll probably put it right under their name, right above where their things are, like their services.
Okay. Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Awesome. Well, while I got this rolling, I'll go ahead and just jump into the personal branding guide that I built for everybody. This is going to be filtered out either today or next week. I'm trying to figure out if I want to send it out looking like this or I want to design it a little more. So the content's all there. It's really just coming down to beautification. So basically, the purpose of this guide is to help every advisor understand and learn how to build a personal brand. So a lot of what I've spent my time in history doing is helping entrepreneurs, founders, products, brands build up their actual brand so people recognize it, they trust it, and they see it as an authority. We want to do the same thing for you advisors in your specific niche or field of study. So within this guide that will be filtered out is basically like, if I were an advisor, this is what I would do from A to Z to get myself out there, to establish my personal brand and get everything going. So you'll have the opportunity to read through this. I'll kind of just skim through it right now. So at a fundamental level, some things you guys are going to have to establish is like, who do you serve? Be as specific as possible. Like, do you serve young women going through breakups? Do you serve entrepreneurs looking for clarity? Brand owners suffering from burnout? People looking for lost loved ones? And what do you help them with specifically? And how do you help them with that? So Guy's video does actually a fantastic job of this. He very clearly describes who he serves in the type of way that he speaks to people and how he can help them. So that is something that's super effective. And what we want to do once you've boiled all that information down, you want to then get it into a one-line statement, a one-line, typically under 7 to 10 words. And this is what you communicate to customers, people, and others on your profile publicly. This one-line statement should be very clear and easy for people to understand so that they totally get what you're about within a very quick fashion. So a good example is like, I help burnout service business owners recover balance and joy. So Specifically, you already know that I work in the corporate field, I work with business owners, and we specifically are going after business owners that are suffering from burnout or are overworked. So that is a very clear, concise statement about who I help and why. So once you have that, this is kind of your brand side of it. So as you start to build your personal brand, some fundamental things you're going to want to do is obviously pick 2 colors, pick some fonts, and choose the tone of voice. When you think about big brands that you know every single day, they communicate in a very specific way. Coca-Cola is red and white. They are about sharing Coke and experiences with your friend, and they're about family and connection. Same thing with Google. They have their primary colors, and their saying is do no evil. I don't know how much true to that they stay true, but that is what they say. And then the social media basics. So once you have your brand Bible created, this is what's going to really inspire your content creation. So your website, your social media, your profile pictures, the way that you write and edit your videos is all going to be kind of boiled down from that. And so what I recommend to people when they're first starting out, there are a lot of social media platforms that you could be a part of. I strongly suggest just picking 2. Pick one that you're really comfortable with and pick one that has video. You just need to get really good at video, even if it feels hard and different and unique. It's just something that it drives more conversions right now than the majority of other mediums. So if you just practice it, you will get better over time, I promise you. But if writing is your go-to, that there's still an opportunity to build influence and community around that. Like when I first started, I spent my first 5 years building a digital marketing blog, and I got hundreds of thousands of people to read and basically hire me from that. So if writing is your shtick, or if posting pictures or connecting with people in live is your area, then there's a ton of ways to do that. Some good options for advisors that I would recommend if I was choosing, I would go TikTok and YouTube. Me personally, YouTube is harder to grow on, but there's greater long-term success on there. Whereas like if you have 50,000 followers on YouTube, it's worth way more than 50,000 followers on TikTok. And the way that I would do it is I would post as much as I can on TikTok because it's very easy to go viral. The algorithm is very easy to catch. And so you'll amass a lot of attention there, and then you'll drive people to your YouTube. So I would create long form YouTube content that I could basically chunk down into TikTok. And there's a ton of apps and tools that are available. I'll share some of those resources with people. And then we have some checklists here for your social. Be clear about your profile, add your bio, that 1-line statement that we were talking about, posting 2 to 3 times per week to start, and ideally scaling up to 2 to 3 times a day. And some good formats that you can look at. Content marketing, this is where basically this is how you're advertising in a very organic way. Nowadays, content typically outperforms ads and paid media spend. So if you make good content, it will be really easy for you to be successful. And what is good content? Content today focuses really on 3 things. It's education, entertainment, or a blend of the 2. So people are either looking to learn something or they're looking to be entertained when they're scrolling on social media. I find the most effective thing, and just through my experience, is trying to be educational and entertaining at the same time. I'm sure you can think of like Bill Nye the Science Guy. Super fun guy that turned a really boring subject, science, into something that we know and love today. So I would try and think about how you can spin your entertainment into what you're teaching people. So there's some ideas in here for different content. SEO, search engine optimization. Social media is where you're going to get a lot of like your everyday traffic, but where you'll find a lot of buyers is going to be people that are searching on Google. Because more often than not, people today start their buying journey on Google. You'll go to Google and you'll type in, what are the product reviews for this blanket? Or what is the cheapest, food item in this specific area? So if you are really good at writing, guy, this specifically could align to you, starting a blog and writing about these specific topics could help you reach up to 5 million people per month on specific keywords. And that's a lot of people.
We're also going to have AI assist in the writings as well. So there's a whole system back there. I'll talk about that when we get to it too. So even if you don't have the time to do the writing and everything, AI can handle a lot of these things for you. But we'll talk about that when we get to my section.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and
great. Yeah.
so all of this is actually just to that point, all of this is really dependent upon you taking advantage of the pro features within Estrella, where you get your own personal website, you get a bunch of different tools and features unlocked with that. So we're basically having this as like a supercharged way to build your personal brand through that. So along with that, as we start to develop Estrella, I realize making social content is obviously sometimes a struggle and it takes a lot of time. So we'll probably integrate some tools within the back end as well that help out with that, whether it's like AI partners or other things. So don't feel like you've got to learn the whole world in a very short amount of time. We're here to help as much as we can. Okay, so SEO, basically write content, put it out there, try to rank for specific keywords. We can definitely start publishing reports as to like what keywords are hot for this month or within this season. There's a really cool tool. I don't expect a lot of people to use this, but if you'd like, there is a cool tool. It's called Google Trends. And what it really does is it just tells you what's trending on Google, which is a really good insight as to what content you should be making for today. So let's just type in spiritual advisors. See how spiritual advisors. Let's go past 5 years. So actually in 2025, we're seeing that there is actually a decent perk up in spiritual advisors, which is actually fantastic. As you can see, between 2022 2025 seemed to be pretty dead. This was also the time when there was a ton of issues going on politically and economically. So that kind of makes sense as to why people were less in tune with that. But I'll share this tool with people. You can just go to Google and type in Google Trends and just punch in keywords here, and it will let you know what's trending right now. So good ideas are a good place to get ideas from. All right, back to the guide. So one area that is really helpful now that we're more or less building a community that's focused on helping advisors help one another, collaborating and growing your influence is super important. And the way that we can do that together is that all of us are advisors that we specifically focus on a different area. We can easily collaborate with one another on social media to drive views, engagement, and reach. And this is something that we as Estrella are already actively doing. So if you're already posting social media content and you want to be featured on the Estrella Instagram page, all you have to do is when you post, hit the little plus button for tagging an account, invite Estrella as a collaborator, and we will feature your content on our profile. And that is just basically free boosting for you guys. We're spending money in order to grow our audience. So if you guys get content on there, you will benefit from that. So it's a really easy way for you guys to take advantage of the marketing that we're already doing. And some other areas that you can use to build influence: collecting testimonials, sharing video recordings from people with their approval of successful events, and obviously creating networking groups or joining networking groups. And this will be something that we actually roll out as well through our mastermind that we've talked about previously, our mentorship network. Pricing your services, I'll leave that up to you guys. Most of you guys know how to price your services. Email marketing basics is pretty simple. We've been doing that a lot right now. Okay, so long-term steps is really just focus on consistency of content and showing up every day. I promise you, in the beginning, it will feel very, very awkward creating social media content if you're not used to it. What I like to tell people is think of your phone as FaceTime. You're FaceTiming your grandchildren, your friends, your family. Talk to it like a real person. People want authenticity and originality, and everyone has that. It's a matter of just tapping into it and getting comfortable on camera. Don't try to build a persona that you need to produce to get on camera, because over time that will become very tiring and you will stop making content because you just don't have the energy or willpower to like put on that face for the camera. So that's just something to consider. Next steps, when this guide goes out, I would start creating your social profiles today if you haven't already. Go on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Take your name, do like at Nathan O Advisor or at Guy Isabel on Instagram. I guarantee most of you guys' names are available, especially the full name, and start posting content. We're going to be putting out different video ideas, different content breakdowns and templates that you guys can use. We've already shared some already, but this is really what's going to be the driver for you guys outside of the marketing that we're going to be doing ourselves. So if you'd like to boost, if you'd like to grow, if you'd like to establish yourself as a leader within your specific niche, this guide will help you with that. So with that, expect to see this. I would say probably next week. I might filter it out today. I haven't decided yet. I think it needs a little bit more tightening up. So I'm going to spend, I think, a few more days. So just look for it next week. And with that, I will turn it over to Brill.
Thank you, Nathan. This is a great tool. Very useful. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. And just a note, Guy and Ramses had asked for something like this last week. I spent the week producing it. So if there are any other assets, tools, requirements, documents, or anything that anybody could ever need, please just ask us. 9 times out of 10, we will already be able to create it or have access to it.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Okay, so now some site updates. I'm going to log in. I'm just logged in as myself, and you'll see that there is this thing called a pro account, and everybody at the beginning that joins up for the pro account will be building your pro account, but I'm going to demo right now what somebody would look like if somebody went through and they're building their own pro account, right? So I'm just going to go through the steps, but for people to join up and commit to us if they want to be a pro at the beginning within the first few weeks of launch or whatever, we'll hand build their stuff for them. But after that, these are the steps people would take. But a couple things to note. You'll notice, you see down here, if you scroll down, it has pro. This is my test account right here. You'll see it says pro here. People will be sorted off pro versus non-pro. So pro obviously will be the people that have all the higher end website stuff and everything. But we'll get to that. But it also helps with how you rank on the homepage too by being a pro. So we'll talk about what that upgrade looks like in just a second. But before that, I want to go over how we pay out transactions. So here's all your transactions, whether marketplace means store or chat or video call. And of course, there's pages of all your transactions, right? Anybody you referred, they also made, anytime they made transactions, it would be here, okay? And then bonuses, every month there'll be a different target for a bonus amount. And if you hit that bonus amount in sales for your personal volume, there's a bonus. And if your referrals hit a certain amount, there's a bonus. So there's 2 bonuses every month somebody could hit, as well as just getting paid for all their services and transactions and everything. But how you get paid, I know a lot of people are asking about that. This My Earnings is a button. It pops up. And what it's going to do, it's going to say your earnings breakdown. This is going to say what exactly you've done, the gross amount. This means total time on the system. And then it breaks it down to what is owed versus what you've already withdrawn. And then if you want a specific month, you'll have to drop down and say, like in June, this accounted $298. And this is for your pay for referrals. You'll see it's broken down marketplace. But at the bottom, you can request a payout. When you do that, you see the only stipulation we really have is the minimum has to be $50. Now, of course, the maximum is still what you haven't withdrawn yet. So if I was to put in $50 here, for example, and say I want to use PayPal Wise or Payoneer, let's say I want to use PayPal, I put my PayPal in there and I check out, then this back screen is going to minus $50 off what you have, because this is your outstanding balance of what you have left. Now, of course, you could take out the whole $300 as well, but I can't take out $309 because that's greater than $308.29. But I can take out $308.29, right? That's fine. I just can't take out more than I have. I said 308. Yeah, that's crazy. So let's do this. 308.28. I think there has to be like a penny in there or something. What's that? Oh, available for payout. Okay. It's 306, whatever. So it'll tell you like what's available. So your available payout is this, but you can't take the account down to 0. So you'll notice that in this case, you can request 306.86, but it's still in your account that you could take it, but it's always trying to leave a positive balance in your account. So that's it. Then there's your volume bonus that you can withdraw to if you hit one of those. And then here's your history of payout. And I just rejected these. So understand this. The first time you make a payout, it's going to take a few days, because let's say you want to get paid in PayPal and you give us the PayPal address, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to PayPal you a smaller amount and say, okay, and then you're going to have to come back and say to us, yes, I received it. Because if you typo your PayPal account, we send $300 to you, and you're like, I made a typo, there's nothing we can do about that. Like, we can't go to PayPal and give us the money back to resend it to you. We don't want you guys to lose a lot of money. So that's set up sort of that way. So that's how you request your earnings. Now, ProTools, this account is set up as a ProTools account. So when I go into there, you'll see that I have custom website. These are things that I can use that come with it. And so like events, like this is being used if I want to have events or schedule, if I want to have a schedule, podcast, live stream, marketing. So eventually what's going to happen is he's going to send out sort of that marketing thing to everybody thing, but we're going to have marketing things that are constantly uploaded in the marketing area where you can use automatically. Whether they're images or they're things, we're constantly going to have new stuff in there that you can just grab and use on your socials. So you don't have to, worry so much about, is the writing correct or this? So every month we'll have new marketing material that we'll just put out there for you guys. So you guys can have really well done marketing material. But for the website, for those of you who, start at the beginning to be a pro, you're not gonna have to worry about these steps, but I'll show you if you're not, I'm gonna just hit start over. So what happens is, the first thing you have to do is make your own custom URL. So you can use any name you want. I just put my name and then here's the name. So what you do with that name is later, after you build your website, our system will show you how to use your own name.com. But right now, you just pick a one that you're building on. So if I continue to branding, I can pick a logo that I want, or I can click here and upload my logo. So if you have a logo, great. You can select the color, you switch all this later, but they can switch the color that they want, or they can use the palette however they want. They can show the logo, or they could show the logo with the name. That's up to you. Then there'll be a whole series of templates. This one's the demo one that I have in place, but there'll be like a lot of these as the month goes on, right? And then I'll hit that, and it'll go into this builder. So if you look here, this builder is like the base, right? And so inside here, if I click on hero section, I basically type whatever I want, and I do whatever I want. If I have a URL for my booking session, I can put it in there. If there's an about session, I turn that on. Let's remember that in my account, I already did an about my services. So it'll copy this, but now show on your web page. If I want to change it, of course, I could change it in any location. It doesn't matter, but it'll bring that. Your services station will bring over your services stuff. Testimonials will bring over. If you have testimonials, like back here, remember, let me go exit this, sorry. If you go to my favorite user feedback, if you have testimonials in here, you'll be able to mark the testimonials that you like. And then on your website, because this is your own website.com, if you say, yes, I want testimonials, it'll bring in the ones that you selected. Like I'll be able to select testimonials here of what people actually said. So you can pick which ones you want to be seen. But you see it says disabled. I have to enable these services to actually use them. Contact, you could put in your own contact information, turn it on, click on it, put it in, save. And it's pretty cool because you can't really mess it up. Like for later, like let's say I come in here and I type in journey and I put a 1111111 and I leave that field. This thing's auto saving, so it's saved to my website. But we have this this history thing. So I can always click this and then drag it back over, and so it'll fix it to what I broke it. So it actually has the last steps of what I've changed when I've changed it, right? I have the title, like you ever see at the title of somebody's website, you can set the title here, the description here, you can change the colors here, you can put in the actual numbers, pick the colors, whatever you want, right? That's the history. This, you can make different layouts, right? So like if I close this and I put like you see the logo there, I can move the logo to the middle. I can put my buttons to the side. There's a lot of drag and drop stuff going on inside of here. Well, I don't have any buttons made yet, but when I would add them, they'd be on there. So this is sort of the way it would go, but that's very rough. But what will really happen is I'll show you some examples, and I've shown some of you guys this before, but some of you guys have probably seen it. But what happens is copy link. It'll make, like, after everything's said and done, it'll make, and I'll share that screen with you. After everything's said and done, basically what it does is it configures entire web portals. Like, it'll make something like this. So this is just one that we messed with the builder. And you'll see at the top, it has like the buttons that they want, like the nav bar. It also has, like, if you look at the nav bar, oh, I didn't mean to close it. I always do that. If you look at the nav bar, it'll have the nav bar up there. It'll have like the pictures, the layout and design. This is all really built with that builder back there. But again, you guys won't have to worry about it because this is just one look. I mean, they get really crazy. You can get them looking any way you want, really. This is just one sort of design as an example of changing colors. But the whole design's changed, sections come in and out. So it's going to be a really cool, high-end, fully automated sort of AI kind of generated sort of system. And so, hold on, I want to share this to you too. I'm going to show you. So as an example of how sort of the blogs would kind of work, just so you know, I'll give you this example. Because we're going to bring in AI to the whole back of this thing. So I'm going to share this screen with you and give you an example of this. Stop sharing. I'm going to share this screen, share. So now you can see you'll have blog articles. You could pull this up. You could click on this and type in any keyword. Like, I think the other one I did, medium, ship. Like, let's just say I'm going to use that. I'm going to generate. It's going to go out and search, like, what would be the best titles and what's active now and all that kind of stuff. And they'll come back with the best titles. So the business of mediumship, ethical marketing for spiritual practitioners. So maybe you want to write an article about that. But these are what's popular right now. So this would be a great article to write if you were trying to get other advisors to join as your referral. So if I click that, you'll see our AI is going to go out and write the entire article for you. So it's not something you have to do. And it's going to optimize it for the search engine. It's going to do all the things that it needs to do to get the article ready. And what happens is once it is done, you have the ability to go in there and change it if you want, but you really don't need to because the AI has gone through everything. So all of these sites, whether it's events or whether it's blogs or marketing, will also tie in like a bunch of, in the future, we're going to bring in a bunch of like information to build like scripts. So it'll auto-generate podcasts and do all sorts of cool stuff. But anyway, here's the whole blog it's written, right? So it's written this whole blog. And then let's say I want an image for the blog. I could either upload my own image or I could even use AI to generate the image for me. So the AI is going to take the title and it's going to take the content and it's going to try to generate the best image for this content. And then once it does that, I can just accept that image, or I can have it regenerate an image, or I can just upload my own image. So you'll see that a lot of this work is going to be done. I'm just going to use the image just because I want to, but I could also generate new images. And if I just hit create post, it would automatically post it on the front of the website, like one of these articles. And then if you click it, this was all written with our AI system. So a lot of the stuff that we will build, a lot of the tools that we will use to build your systems for people that upgrade to Pro, they'll have their own personal, whatever it is, .com website and all these sort of tools that'll automate a lot of these features for you. Because people with AI and the way the search engines work and the way everything, I mean, if people don't get into the newer platforms, they're going to really be left behind. And it's a sales tool too, right? Because I mean, if somebody comes to your website and it looks very high end, very well done, they're going to think they're going to get in an impression that you're very professional, right? So you won't look like, you know, like you just started or something. It won't look like you just slapped something together. It look like really legit. So it'll be very helpful for the people that have these tools available. And then what's cool about it is after your site's built, all you have to ever do is go into the back end of Estrella. And like, if you want, what's going to happen is if I go back to the back end of Estrella, right, I never really have to go into here because it's already built for you guys. Instead, all you're going to have to do is go into ProTools here, and then maybe you're going to go into blogs. And that, if you turn it on and you want blogs, well, that's where that whole blog writing system will be. But when you do it back here, it's writing it really for your entire website. Or if you want to turn on events, if you set up your schedule or events or your live streams or podcasts, or the people that you referred, if you want to have a section on your website that said, hey, I don't do, let's say, tarot cards, but if you want somebody that does tarot cards, I refer this person. You can turn on referrals, and that'll just bring over the people that you referred to Estrella, because what will happen is if that person wants tarot cards, they click on that person, they'll be a pro too. They go to their own website, sure, but every transaction that's done between that user and advisor, you'll get a commission for. So it's a way to build your network without you actually physically having to do anything, because no one person does everything, right? Some people are experts at X, Y, and Z, and other people are experts at A, B, C. So this really lets you fill in your entire platform with not only your shop, but referrals. So I don't do tarot cards, this person does. I don't do mechanical writing, this person does. So then you can bring each other in and start sharing the revenue that way. So you're not really working against each other, you're sort of working with each other, right? And so that's in the best interest of the advisors, in the best interest of the customers. So somebody's not just pretending to do something they can't or don't. Or maybe I bought maybe I watched a YouTube video about tarot cards. I went and bought a pack of tarot cards, and now I'm starting to charge people. I mean, that's not really so cool. You know what I mean? So on the front of Estrella, that's why you'll see there'll be a whole pages of people that are basically pros, and there'll be people that aren't pros. The people that aren't pros aren't the ones that upgraded, but the people that upgraded obviously take their business more seriously and stuff. So if I'm a customer, I might tend to want to click that pro person versus a non-pro person. But it's a good way to sort of segregate people that are new versus people that have really been in it a long time, right? Because you go to these other sites and there's like 1,000 advisors on there. You don't know who's been in it 20 years, who's taking it seriously. You don't know who's doing it full time, and you don't know who's doing it as a part-time side hustle. You just don't know. As a customer, you're spending money. You want to know what you're spending money on. That's why our Meet system is so great, because they get to talk to people first, and they get to say, oh, do our personalities mesh? Do you have the experience and the thing I'm looking for? And then you can convert them to be a customer. So that's what's great about that, and that's what's great about this pro thing. It sort of delineates these two groups of people so that no one's really hurt by somebody that just bought a pack of tarot cards last week and now all of a sudden wants to sign up and compete with you to be on the first page. Maybe you've done it for 30 years. You know what I mean? It's not fair to customers. It's not fair to the experienced advisors. And it's not making the inexperienced advisors put in their work to become experienced. You know what I mean? So it's a great sort of system, the way it's all put together. But these tools are being, as you see, every day is being built. So what I'm going to do for people that sign up to be pros right here, in the next few weeks or whatever, because right before we launch, I'm going to also take videos while we're build the person's site the way they want it, right? And we'll take video of it, and we're going to use that video for other people that later join pro, because we won't be hand building their sites, right? We're only going to do that for the first few weeks, because we obviously can't be building them. That's why we built this tool, is so that people can build their own site. But once we have enough of people that became pro, we'll have enough examples of different ways to build sites that people can actually watch that and build their own site comfortably, because there'll be videos on how to do it. You know what I mean? So everybody that joins up early is going to get a huge benefit of that, right? Just us doing it for them, because, it's one less thing you have to do. Plus, we're developers, so the stuff we develop is going to be really tight, obviously. So, but that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you how we're building out the systems and stuff. And right now, people that have committed to be pros, we already started working with them and getting what they want their template to look like and all that kind of stuff. So we're building those as we speak right now. We'll be using them as examples later as we go, and we'll use them on YouTube and everything. Like, how, as you're an advisor, how do you build your own custom website? You know, we'll be marketing and promoting those too. So at the same time, we'll be seeing, you know, your website, because that's the one we'll be building as an example. So,
Brill?
yeah.
How do we get in on the ground floor here and get in on these pro modeling things at
You
this
just
point?
tell us, listen, if you just tell us you want it, we'll just start working with you. It's no problem. And we'll worry about, you know, you signing up for it when we launch the site.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do, and I'll send you a follow-up email, but yeah, I do want in on this. This is great.
Yeah, because I mean, you'll have a really high-end, really nice website. So what will happen to you is you send me an email, then I'll send you an email back and I'll say, okay, show me, like, go around the internet. And it doesn't even have to be advisor websites. Pick anybody's website. Go, I kind of like the way this looks because I like this color. I like that. I like this. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you give me a description. And then we go back, we build out the templates, right? And then we'll show you 2 or 3 examples of templates. Say, well, I like this one, but can you switch this stuff around? Once you agree on that template, then we're going to take it into this system that showed you, and we're going to manually build it as we take videos, so we can use it in our YouTube and in our university to teach other people how they can build it. Even though we're really building it for you guys, it's just an advantage of being in early. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is. So it works for us. It works for you guys. It's just awesome. So, but yeah, you just tell us right now, we'll start. That's because we need to build the templates anyway, right? Because we have to have a bunch of templates out there that people are going to start with and start things. So we'd rather do it for people that we know are going to want to be pros. And then when we launch, because right now there's no fees, nothing to buy or anything, but when we launch, then you can just, when you launch, you can just upgrade the pro, and then we'll copy and everything to your stuff. You know what I mean? And then you're done. And then
Brill,
it's, yeah.
Brill, I do have a question. Yeah. When will we be able to start working on that pro and website? Did you say?
Yeah.
Build
So
our
what's,
website?
yeah, so I know you're doing it. I know Ramsey doing it. I know Karen Glass is doing it. Now I know Joyce wants to do it. So I'm going to send, we're finishing Karen Glasses and doing Ramsey's right now. So I'm going to send me an email, just like I told Joyce, of kind of websites that you like, what you want on there, the colors you like, all that kind of stuff. Send it to me and we'll start building those as well. So yeah, because we're going to build them. So send us immediately what you want, because we're at the point where this stuff is almost done. So the only thing we have to do now is get really good example templates out there. Right. So definitely send that information my way, guy.
Okay.
Just send it to my email and we'll start working on it. And then I'll send you a link and I'll have like 3 or 4 things that we built. And you can say, well, I prefer number 2, but I'd like to change X, Y, Z. So
Okay.
it's kind of like having your own little custom developer here at first, you know, so you get exactly what you want, which is really cool for you guys, but it gives us templates that we can use base, and we can use this as a teaching or a lesson. Because if not, I'm just going to be making blank templates that I'm teaching people from, and then we won't be able to use them at all. So if I know there's the interest in the pro, I might as well just build your guys's already.
So basically what you want from us is just a color that we'd like to have on our website.
Colors, logos. If you go out and see other websites you like and send me a link, say, I really like the way this website did this.
Oh, okay.
That. Just give me as much information as you can and about what you like and what you want and your colors and things like that. And then we'll give it our best shot at a couple, 2 or 3 templates and send them your way. And then when we do that, you just look at them. And then me and you have a meeting, or me and Joyce have a meeting. We go over 3 templates and say, these are things I like. These are things I don't like. And
Okay.
then we put that out. Then we'll make a final draft based on the things you did like or didn't like from the template that you did or didn't like. And we'll do that. You're like, that's cool. And we'll say, all right. And then we'll build that in this system. So I'm going to show you, like I just showed hers, like in a picture, because I don't want to build it in the website until I know it's what you like. And I need to take video of me building it in the website so we can use it as lessons for other advisors that want to build a website not like yours, but they'll understand the tools of how to pick the colors, where to put their logo, how to move this, how to move that. You know what I mean? So, and then they'll be on their own to build it. Like I said, so, that's what's great about being, I guess, at the first is that you're going to get all that sort of customization done for you. So,
Okay, good.
cool. Yeah, just send me that email.
Yeah.
Well, we got to make the templates anyway. So the more, if I can get 15 or 20 advisors that are saying, yeah, we want to be pros, I'll give us 15 or 20 base templates to work with. And that's what we want. We want a large supply of templates. So people can pick like a base template to start with and then start modifying it. So they're not building them from scratch.
Okay.
So, yeah. So anybody you refer to, everybody you know, if they want to do pro, have them email me too. Because we need to start building out those templates. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Cool. That's all I have for today.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's coming along very nicely. So
Oh, yeah,
beautiful. Get excited, guys. Send us all your
Great.
website designs. If you need any more assets, let us know. And I guess before we pull off here, any final questions, comments, anything?
Well, if we
Thank
send the information to Brill, Brill will send it to contact at.
Send it to
Sure.
contact and I'll send it
Okay.
to Pro.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And if you need help, like if you don't have a logo and you want a logo, we'll put together a logo for you and stuff. We want to
Oh,
make
that's good. That's
we
good.
want to
Yeah.
make it really nice. This is the benefit. This is what we're doing for you guys. So anybody, that's why everybody you know that you prefer to join that wants to be pro, they should get a hold of us now. Because if you go try to get a logo made, it could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars just for the logos. And they cost thousands of dollars for the website. We're just giving it to you guys because we need the templates. And I don't want it just to have your name on top. I want to have a cool logo up there, cool colors. I want to see vastly different iterations of things that can be done so people can get a great idea. Because on our homepage, we're also going to have pro advisors and we'll have little screenshots of everybody's website. So when they click it, they'll go over to your website. So when new advisors come, they can look at all of the high-end stuff that's already out there. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to use them as examples. So we want to make them nice. So if you don't have a logo and you want a logo, say, listen, I want a logo and I want it to feel and look and kind of feel and look like this and a color like that. And we'll make the logo. We'll make all of it.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, guys.
So everybody knows.
Beautiful.